no limit hold'em, it's art. It's about people. It's about painting a picture. And when you're in the zone, you just feel what everyone has.
You got aces or something? I think I know what you got. You've got 2 8s?
It's almost like you know what they're gonna do before they do.
You're bluffing. He's bluffing.
How scary is this guy?
You have kings?
How scary is this, really?
Yeah, I thought that's the only hand you could have was 2 kings.
And when you're in the zone and you tell someone exactly what they have,
Jack, queen offsuit.
and they look and they're like,
Oh, I got it right, Jack, queen.
that just makes them gulp, get scared, be like, I don't want to mess with that guy anymore.
Mike Sexton with pocket kings. And he's going to raise it up to 22,000.
There were 3 ways to get into the TOC: win a circuit event, make the final table of the 05 main event, or get a sponsor exemption.
Mataso was at that 05 final table. Negreanu and Reslok won circuit events, and Sexton got a sponsor exemption. Negreanu with queen deuce will make the call. Sexton with the advantage going to the flop. The flop 5, 7, 6 rainbow. Sexton's kings keep Daniel in hot water. Daniel checks. Sexton will slow play the kings to the turn. It's a deuce. Daniel pairs his card. A couple of more outs there for him.
Daniel's still far behind.
But he is going to bet it. 30,000 chips.
Well, for all Daniel knows, his deuces are the best hand right now. Sexton might have just a couple of high cards.
And Sexton's right behind him with the call. River card is another 5. Sexton gets the check mark with kings up. Negreanu will be first to act, and he checks it now. Mike Sexton with kings and 5s bets 50,000. That got Daniel's attention.
He's betting 50,000 into a pot of 110,000. Value betting this baby. Yeah, Daniel's thinking, what can I beat? And of course, what does he have?
Might have like kings, I guess. It's crazy.
He might.
2 kings?
That is unearthly. Daniel might be an alien.
Time and time again, we hear him call out his opponent's cards. He might have x-ray vision.
I just want to see him.
Oh, he was going to pay for the information and make the
How
call.
scary is this guy?
You have kings?
How scary is this, really?
Yeah, I thought that's the only hand you could have was 2 kings. At least I called it right.
What is that is dabbing it there?
I didn't have any clue what you had. How's that?
I put him on kings and still paid it off.
That was
No problem.
impressive, though.
That was.
Nice read.
I had no clue what Mike
If it was
had.
a nice read, I would have threw it away.
It's over to Mike Mataso.
Yeah, my boy Daniel.
Mataso with a jack at least. Again, being coy.
He's pooping it.
I think he has Jack 10 again.
Suited connectors for Daniel.
Oh, baby. How much?
19.
I did. That I did.
Mataso raised it to 19,000, and Negreanu made the call.
I call.
He's supposed to be whistling with suited connectors.
I thought you had him read.
Yeah, that's my first misread.
Ooh, baby. This could be it, buddy. This could be the one. Careful, careful.
Negreanu needling his friend. The flop, 8, jack, deuce, all clubs. Mike makes top pair. Daniel hits middle pair.
I'm all in.
How much? All in.
All in.
Count your money.
Well, Mataso turning up the heat.
Count that money.
Daniel auditioning for the new game show. Count that money.
134.
Okay. Let's decipher Mike's hand together. King of clubs, queen of diamonds? Is that you?
Possibly. Wrong answer.
No? Okay. Jack, queen offsuit.
Wrong answer.
He gets one more try.
Absolutely nothing.
You got it!
I don't believe you. How much is it?
134.
Daniel's trying to figure out if this is the Mataso blow-up he predicted.
Yikes. All right, Mikey, you take it.
He folds.
He had it right the second time, though.
Oh, I got it right. Jack queen. Nice. What a lay down with my pair of 8s. Jack queen. I got you. I got you. I called it second time.
That guy is amazing.
It took me 2 this time, but I got it.
Daniel sometimes is just positively
I had king
unearthly.
queen, then I went jack queen. I was a little off.
And a lot of money on the line.
Sexton's donating half of his TOC winnings to 5 charities.
Sexton limps in. Negreanu with 9-7 offsuit checks his option.
I believe Daniel's donating his TOC winnings to Sexton, Doyle Brunson, and Eric Lindgren on the golf course.
He's getting better now. Here's the flop. 9, 6, 7. Negreanu hits 2 pair. Mike Sexton gets 1 pair and a straight draw. Daniel bets 20,000. Sexton makes the call.
Worth it for Mike with bottom pair and that gut shot.
Turn card is a 4. No help to Mike Sexton, who still trails. Daniel checks.
I don't know why Daniel slowed down there.
Sexton checks behind him. To the river we go. Another 6 gives Sexton the best hand with trip 6s.
What a river card for Mike Sexton. Daniel checks.
Sexton will bet
That's cold-blooded there.
90,000.
That's a cold-blooded card is what that is.
Remember, Daniel with top 2 pair in his hand.
Wow. Don't see how I can throw it away, but just know you got like 6-3 or something.
As usual, Daniel's radar is in working condition.
Brother.
He'll pay to see it.
610.
That's about right.
And Sexton will take the pot. Sam Farha at our feature table. 10-7, suited in spades.
And remember rule number 1 for Sammy, the hand begins on the flop.
Sammy calls the big blind over to Daniel Negreanu. Pocket kings. The hand begins now for Daniel.
He's almost whistling.
Daniel reaching for chips, and he's going to raise it up to 250. Now over to Buffalo, New York firefighter Dwayne Cathcart.
Won his way into this tournament on a $1,000 satellite here at the Rio.
First World Series of Poker in the small blind. He's going to make the call. And now Andrew Wynn, also from New York. He cashed in the main event last year, finished 63rd. He will call, and Sam Farha will call the raise too.
Scared him out. Yeah, I see that.
Nobody's going anywhere.
A lot of passengers in this car.
4 to the flop, and now it comes out Queen, Jack, 8. Negreanu pocket kings are still best.
Wynn, though, has a pair of jacks, Cathcart with a pair of queens and a straight draw, and Sammy's picked up a straight draw.
Everyone checks over to Daniel Negreanu with his kings.
Let's try 700. Seem like a fair bet, gentlemen?
Daniel treats it like it's a town hall meeting and people can discuss the size of the bets. He's very friendly.
Cathcart will make the call with his queens. Wynn gets out of the way. Sam Farha folds.
2 down, wow.
Negreanu in the lead with his kings. Going to the turn. Turn card is a 4. No help to Cathcart.
Daniel in a stronger position now, a 4-1 favorite with his pocket kings.
Fireman checks. Daniel now.
Try 1800.
Is that enough to get Cathcart out?
Now, it looked like he's reaching for chips, and he's going to call with his pair of queens and a straight draw.
He will indeed make the call. Negreanu, a 4-1 advantage to the river. And oh, it's a queen, and trip queens now for Cathcart.
Second best card he could have seen, but he's going to check it.
Why was I thinking no queen, no queen?
Because Daniel's the smartest guy at the table.
I don't like that card, just in case.
Daniel's got great radar.
Daniel checks it and sees that he has lost the hand to Dwayne Cathcart. Wow, action has been hot and heavy. Daniel Negreanu with pocket cards of 9, 8 of hearts.
A lot of pros will tell you that's one of their favorite starting hands.
150 chips from Daniel over to Naylor Harrison from Annapolis, Maryland.
Re-raise.
Ace Jack offsuit re-raises to 400. Table action. Quickly folds after that raise. Over to Sam Farha.
He's on the button.
Sam with 9 deuce
Call.
suited in spades.
With the bets in front of him, a lot of people would give that thing up, but Sammy loves the action.
Farha, Harrison, and Negreanu to the flop.
Let's chop it.
No, let's gamble. Let's have some fun, huh?
Sammy has the right idea.
The flop is 5, 6, 7. Negreanu flops a straight.
Check.
He flops the nut straight right now, and he will check it and try to get a bet from somebody. And Sammy flopped a flush draw and a straight draw, and he will bet.
1,000 chips from Farha. Daniel calls.
Easy call for Daniel, and there should be an easy fold for Harrison. He got no piece of that flop.
Harrison, though, was reaching.
I'm wrong once again.
He will make the call.
He's a Hold'em rookie, and those are cards you just get rid of.
Turn card is a king. Harrison drawing dead. Negreanu's odds improve.
That's a great looking card for Daniel. It doesn't threaten his straight.
2000.
He's going to raise it now to 2,000. Harrison with another decision. Finally gets rid of his cards.
Farha still on the straight draw and flush draw, and he will call.
Daniel trying to get a read on Sam. Now the river card. 5 of spades. Parhawk gets the flush. Oh, Daniel's hurting again.
Daniel's nut straight, goes into flames on the river, and he's smart enough to check. Wow.
Action now on Sam. He's reaching for chips. And that's enough to put Daniel all in.
This is like how my whole month has been running, man. This is scary.
Daniel has a sixth sense like few do at his age.
Oh, brother, man.
Daniel agonizing that his straight is no longer the best hand.
Don't pair the board and don't put a spade up. I'm thinking like about the wrong cards. No queen, queen. No 5, no spade.
I couldn't fold here. I mean, you would have to zip me in a straitjacket to force me to give up those cards. However, Daniel's got great hand radar, and this is for all his chips. If he calls, he's out of here. He looks like he's giving it up the way he's holding those cards.
Daniel doesn't want to, and he does throw it away. What a laydown. 7 deuce of hearts.
Wild Bill broke the first rule of poker. Keep your back to the wall.
Daniel Negreanu with pocket 9s. Daniel's going to raise it up to 2,200. Nobody gets a cheap card around here. Peter Antil with pocket 4s.
I'm sorry, did Adam Jones call with 7 deuce?
Of hearts.
Okay, he's playing Lon McCarron poker.
There's David Stuck, a truck driver from Erie, Pennsylvania. King 10 offsuit from the big blind.
Boy, I would say that's a loose call from the big blind.
1,600 more it cost him. Jones, with the raise to him, will call 1,600 more to him.
Jones calls another bet with 7 deuce?
4 to the flop. It is deuce, 4, 6. Antil got just what he was looking for, a set of 4s.
Very nice.
Stuck checks, he's drawing dead. Over to Adam Jones.
Reaching for chips.
Picked up a pair of deuces. He puts in 2,800 chips.
I know Jones used to ride Bronx for a living, so he can be a little reckless, but are we kidding here?
Special with Negreanu after him. Daniel's going to raise it.
10,300.
10,300 more.
Yeah, Daniel likes the flop. It doesn't seem to threaten his pocket 9s.
Cool.
Antil calls. Stuck folds.
That was a nice smooth call from Antil as Daniel eyed him.
Got to tell Daniel something.
Oh, Jones gets off the horse.
So heads up, Negreanu and Antil. 8 of spades, no help for Daniel, who trails big time.
And Daniel slows down. Lon, he doesn't just have a 6th sense. I believe he has a 7th and 8th sense.
At least. Antil checks also.
Antil will not let him know the strength of his hand.
Another 8 on the river. Antil earns the check mark. And he's got the full boat. Daniel checks again.
I got 15,000.
Make it 15,000 with pocket 6s or pocket 4s. Which one is it?
Wow.
He's the best.
Pocket 6s or pocket 4s, quick. Huh?
Take your pick.
It's either one. Can't beat either one, buddy. Pocket 6s, pocket 4s. Which one?
He'll break him.
But why would you check the turn? If you bet the turn, I was just going to fold. I really was. I was just going to give it to him. I mean, he had to have 6s or 4s, but... 15,000. There's a gazillion in there. I'm going to fold the second best hand.
He's right.
Daniel is the only player at the table, Lon, who has access to the other player's hole cards.
Justin Young with pocket aces. He's going to raise it up to 3,000. Action on Daniel with Jack 8 offsuit.
Daniel again getting creative, wants to see a flop and then outplay his opponent afterward.
He's going to need to outplay him. He trails right now. Daniel got an 8 in the flop.
It's your neighborhood again.
You don't care. You're going to bet 6,000 anyway, right?
6? All right.
6,000 it is.
You just do whatever I say the whole hand?
Keep giving me good advice like that, I guess.
Daniel called him. We'll go to the turn. Daniel's 8s trailing the aces. No help to Daniel with that 10.
All right, I checked you.
Let's check to him.
Now I'd like you to call 10,000, please.
Call 10,000.
Yes. Just call it. Don't raise me.
I'd like to see him raise Daniel.
Good call. See? He's doing exactly what I want him to do. That's
Check or bet the river.
Depends if a heart comes or not.
Okay.
Now the river card. Queen of clubs.
All right, I checked.
Why do I think you still have like 2 kings or something?
I'm not even playing liar's poker with Daniel for dollar bills.
I think you got like 2 kings and I'm gonna lose, so I check.
Very good read.
What's that?
That's a good
Pretty
read.
close. He had aces over there.
Daniel Negreanu is front and center. And Negreanu with Queen 10 offsuit.
I know how badly Daniel wants to win the main event, but I still think he does too many other things. He plays golf, he's got his own blog, he's doing Wii bowling. He's scattered.
He does raise it to 3,000. Over to Ryan McLean with pocket aces. He's another Canadian player. He's from Edmonton.
Maybe this is the Canadians' year to win the main event.
A re-raise to 9,000 from the small blind from McLean. So that action back to Daniel now from Toronto. Lives here in Vegas.
I don't really want to, but I kind of have to.
Well, you didn't have to, Daniel, but he did. He calls.
6,000 more. These two Canadians to the flop. It is 5-4 queen, and that's dangerous. Daniel paired his top card.
You see, Daniel hits top pair and he's hopelessly behind. That's why he didn't have to.
You know what I think he's got? Aces.
That is uncanny.
I think he's got 2 aces.
What do you do if you're McLean now?
Well, I'm not even sure McLean has aces, and we can
That's
see
what I
his
think,
cards.
McLean, a little more than half the pot. Bets 12,000 with his aces.
Well, if Daniel is so sure he has aces, why did he reach for chips?
Ace!
Yeah, he
One
made the
time.
call.
Give him an ace over there.
Turn card is a deuce. No help to Daniel. McLean checks this time.
You know, I think Daniel's talk has frozen McLean. Daniel
Yeah.
talked his way into a free card.
There's a 5 on the river, and that earns McLean the check mark.
Why would you check aces on the turn? That was such a strange play. You had a straight turn on everything.
If I'm McLean and he's got the best hand, I just want to crawl into a hole. It's like Daniel's flashing a spotlight in your face.
McLean checks it. Daniel checks it out. There you go.
Aces.
I told you I knew what he had. I had a queen.
Wow.
Spooky, man. I was like...
Back to Daniel Negreanu with the featured table. He's got a pair of 7s against Matt Trout, who's got an up and down straight draw after the flop. Turn card is a 10. Trout hits his straight. Daniel can only hope for a chop.
Lon, what Daniel does is pretty simple. He says you get into someone's head, understand how they approach the game, and then you play their tendencies. It's just hard to master.
Trout, a 28-year-old mortgage consultant from Wisconsin, checks it over to Negreanu. Daniel bets 4,000. Daniel with a pair of 7s. Trout check raises all in.
I had you on the flop, then you got me on the turn.
He's right again.
I had you, but then that card changed the leader, I'm pretty sure, right?
Couldn't we use Daniel to track down Bin Laden?
You had like some kind of 9 in your hand, right? Like a king 9 or
King 9.
9, whatever. Take it.
Daniel
Straight
folds.
You're a sick human.
King 9.
King 9.
I did it again! Yes!
Even when you lose, they cheer for you.
I had you till then.
What, you couldn't give us the suits?
Oh boy, I'm reading good today. That's good. I'm reading good. I'm feeling good.
Daniel is definitely focused right now, calling out pocket cards right and left. He is, what you might say, in the zone.
Don't see a lot of sweaters in Las Vegas in the summer, or whatever that is.
He's going to raise it up to 3,100. Isaacs now, author of 5 poker books, Ace Jack offsuit.
When Susie won the ladies' championship back-to-back in 1996 and 97, it was 7-card stud they were playing then.
Isaacs makes the call. Negreanu with pocket deuces. Reaching for chips, and he'll make the call. 3 to the flop. It is deuce 5 ace, and what a flop for Negreanu. He hits the set, and his opponents pair their ace.
Great spot for Daniel. Adamich with his pair of aces, the king kicker. Susie has a pair of aces with an inferior kicker.
Adamich first to act, bets 7,000.
This is it.
Susie was 10th in the main event in 1998, just missing the final table the year Scotty Wynn won it all.
And Susie's going to move all in with the aces and jack kicker.
This is for 1/3 of Daniel's remaining stack. At a minimum, he's going to call. It's just a question of whether he wants to push all in.
I didn't say suck out. I said triple me up.
Well, Daniel's not moving all in. He just makes the call. Adamich now with top pair, top kicker.
All in.
And he moves all in. And that would put Daniel Negreanu at risk were he to call.
I think I got you guys crushed, but I'm not sure.
I think he has him crushed, and I am sure.
You got 3 5s. No, you don't. You don't have it. You don't have it. I think you both have ace-king.
Daniel's my hero. I'm going to treat him to Rocky 5.
You got an ace. He got 2? No.
Now, he can't see the whole cards, right?
I believe he can.
Daniel's going to make the call, so both he and Isaacs will be at risk.
Please.
But Daniel in
Okay,
great
come on,
shape.
Jack.
knew it. I just knew it.
Oh, no. Jeez, what the hell do I
She needs divine intervention.
need? 2 hearts, that's what I need.
No.
No, I need... I don't know what the hell I need to save my ass.
30, 3 4.
Daniel's right. Unless there are hearts, with a 3-4, we'd have a 3-way split pot.
36.
Beat by the best.
So Negreanu and Isaacs all in.
You got hearts, too.
Turn card now is a 6 of spades, and that's going to end it. Isaacs and Adamich drawing dead. Isaacs eliminated.
I lost to the best.
And
This is like the worst situation in poker. It's my small blind, Daniel Negreanu's big blind. And everybody folds.
I thought the worst situation in poker is playing heads up with Mike Matusow in a telephone booth.
I gotta shut the camera.
And the Poker TV consultant on the Milwaukee's Best Light Pocket Cam shows us Jack 8 from the small blind, as he said.
He's going to think about it, I think. Not much to think about.
I'm just gonna call.
It's on you. Okay. Well, that's the right play. You know, fine. You know, trust me. That's the right play.
He limps in.
I promise. I'm not lying. It's in the book.
Well, Daniel's
I didn't even
thrilled to
look,
get
but
a free
I know
flop.
it's the right play.
He does check his option. These two to the flop. It is ace, 6, king. Neither pairs up, but Morris got the best of that with a flush draw. And they both check it. Turn card, 3 of hearts. Daniel with a straight draw now.
Go ahead.
And they check it to the river. And the river card, a 5 of spades, makes both players' hands. Morris got his flush, but Daniel also hit his straight, and that's second best.
If Morris had bet earlier in the hand, he would have gotten rid of Daniel. Now he's made his flush, and luckily for him, Daniel made a
What in
straight.
the world are you trying to tell me you got?
Morris bets 3,500.
Squad or something. Maybe you got a king. I don't know.
Well, maybe Daniel's radar is askew for once, but why would he put Morris on a flush?
I have the type of hand I can't call you with. No shot.
Fold or raise, I guess.
Here, eat some of that.
He does raise it. It's a 9,500.
I can't call him.
Morris has got to love that raise.
Eat some of that.
Oh, brutal.
And a re-raise to
pretty
29.5.
That was pretty unlucky for me to have to make that hand on the river. Wow. Wow, wow, wee, wow.
Daniel considering the possibility that his straight might be beat.
Yikes.
Daniel is befuddled. He is befuddled, Lon.
The eye of the tiger.
Morris sitting just a little too pretty. And I don't like anyone singing at the table other than Marcel Luce.
Why would you re-raise me?
As Daniel said earlier, that was the worst possible river card for him. He makes the straight. Morris never made a
would you
bet
re-raise me
until the
there?
river.
Let's break it down. I have the best hand. I have the worst hand, and I'm bluffing.
No, you're not bluffing. Okay, let's rule that out. There's 0 chance you're bluffing. That much I know. But you have no clue what I have. That's the problem. That's the problem I'm having right here. You think I was bluffing. That's the problem.
Well, Daniel, not as quick as he was earlier in putting things together, but this is a tough one to put together.
I'm going to make a really, really good decision, I think. But I had a
What is
good
it?
hand. I had a straight.
Great laydown by Daniel.
Yeah.
I had a straight.
Does Morris want to show?
I think it was a good decision. We'll
Damn!
have to
Show
find
him the bluff, man. Show him the bluff. Yeah, right. Come on.
If Morris had shown him, Daniel would feel even more empowered.
Action does fold around to Negreanu, and he looks down at pocket aces.
Pocket aces usually clear the nasal passages.
Daniel in the small blind with a min raise. Action on young Jin Lee in the big blind. Jack 7 of clubs. And he calls.
I really don't understand the min raise of 100. When Daniel's feeling better, I'll ask him to explain it to me.
A flop and trip sevens for Lee to take the lead. Daniel first to act.
Daniel, of course, ace is up. Dangerous waters for him.
225. And now the 23-year-old South Korean student. Flat calls. 8 of hearts on the turn. Sevens full
Check it.
now for Lee. Check, check.
Lee constructing a big trap for Daniel.
A tray on the
Check
river.
it.
Check mark for Lee.
800.
Check from Daniel. 800 from Lee.
A pot-sized bet, and Daniel is exasperated.
So weird. I had such a big hand. You have no idea. Biggest hand you can get.
Negreanu telling Lee, you're trying to crack aces.
And now you're betting 800.
This is where Helmuth stands up and rants. Daniel handles it differently.
This sucks. Setting them all up. I had the big hand and bleh.
Norman Daniel seems to know right where he stands here, though.
All right, I'll let you bluff me.
Daniel folds. It's not a bluff. Lee shows.
That's good.
Oh, well.
All right. Action on Daniel Negreanu at this featured table. Ace-Jack.
Actually, I've got some Afrin and Benadryl and Sudafed and Sinutab if he wants.
Daniel with another min raise.
Well, I don't think a guy should play an ace with a sinus infection. Your judgment's just off.
Jeff Bryan in the small blind. Queen 6 of diamonds. He makes the call. Now over to Jeff Allen D'Ambrosia in the big blind. Ace 5 of hearts.
Well, he's got a worse ace than Daniel, but his sinuses are clear. Advantage to D'Ambrosia.
3 players to the flop. One of them pretty sick. Ace 9 tray. A pair of aces for Negreanu and D'Ambrosia. Daniel with a better kicker that pretty much missed Bryan. He checks.
400.
400 from D'Ambrosia.
Call.
Daniel with his better kicker calls. Jeff Bryan folds.
He's behind, but I've got to favor the healthier man.
Turn card is a king. Negreanu still ahead. D'Ambrosia to act first.
800.
He bets.
If we had a whole card cam inside of Daniel's head right now, it wouldn't be a pretty sight.
Daniel makes the call. And these two will see a river card. 10 of diamonds. Negreanu earns the check mark with the better kicker.
Check.
A check from D'Ambrosia. Daniel makes it 1,500.
I shouldn't have doubted Daniel. His judgment is not congested.
You got a flush draw or something?
Yeah, sure.
I put you on a flush draw. I figured maybe.
No, you didn't.
No, I really did.
You know I didn't have flush.
I did. That part's true. Now I think you have an ace.
You think?
Yeah. What a genius read that is, huh?
It's good for TV. I call you.
He does call.
I got ace jack.
That beats ace 5.
Daniel Negreanu in the small blind with an ace. Ace queen.
Well, maybe they both have an ace.
Daniel reaching for chips. And Daniel's going to repop it to 20,000.
Daniel might think Johnny's trying to steal the blinds, so he 3-bets it, and we'll see if Johnny can play.
Big blind, Barry Greenstein folded. Back to Chan. He needs 14,000 to call.
Johnny's aggressive, but I don't think he's fooling around much this final table. Frankly, I believe Johnny wants to win the TOC more than anyone here.
Well, Johnny's going to go after the chip leader. He makes the call. These guys are the two big stacks at the table right now. Here is the flop. It is King 8-7. Negreanu got no help with that. He's first to act.
I have the sneaking suspicion they both have an ace. Johnny might have ace-jack, ace-10, so he could be in trouble here.
Negreanu checks.
We know the flop missed Daniel, and I think it missed Johnny.
And he checks as well. All right, so to the turn card we go. Two of the best players in the game, matching wits. A queen pairs Negreanu on the turn.
If Daniel bets here, the hand might be over. Or if Johnny then raises him, well, the hand also might be over.
But Daniel checks again.
Did I mention, Lon, that I specialize in the human mind?
You did.
Well, I was mistaken.
Johnny bets 30,000 on the turn now.
Maybe Johnny's trying to buy it here, but I just don't think he's messing around. Oh, I got a theory for you, Lon. They both have ace-queen.
Okay.
They
we'll
both
see.
have ace-queen. You heard it here first, and you heard it here twice.
All right. Daniel with ace-queen makes the call.
They both have ace-queen. If Daniel were as smart as me, he would have pushed all in there. Johnny couldn't have called.
River card is a deuce. Negreanu gets no improvement. And if you're right, Chan didn't either.
Exactly.
Daniel checks. Johnny wastes no time in reaching for chips, and he makes it 60,000.
Johnny seems pretty sure his alleged ace-queen is best. He doesn't seem to be worried that Daniel might have a king. Daniel seems worried that Johnny might have a king.
Feels like 3/8, Johnny.
Or Daniel might be worried that Johnny has 3/8.
How insightful of you, Norman Chad.
Aces, maybe? No.
It's possible I've misread the strength of Johnny's hand.
It's possible.
3/8, I guess.
Daniel's putting Chan on a big hand.
Daniel trying to convince himself he's beat.
Okay. This might be silly, but I think you have 3/8, so I'm going to fold my hand.
Daniel does lay it down. You said Johnny had ace-queen. He's got an ace. He's got 2 aces, and he wins the Jack Link's Beef Jerky wild card hand.
Daniel mentioned aces. That never occurred to me. What the heck? I still get a paycheck at the end of the day.
Daniel Negreanu in early position, 7-6 of diamonds.
Daniel likes to raise from early position with suited connectors. It's another way to confuse your opponents.
He does just that. 1175 to James Carroll.
I've read my scouting report on Daniel.
Carroll folds again. Over to Tony Utenich. King Jack of clubs. Utenich makes the call.
Utenich likes to call from the cutoff with high suited connectors. Actually, I'm just making that up.
It is folded over to Tristan McDonald in the big blind with pocket tens.
As Daniel mentioned earlier, McDonald with 2 main event cashes, 44th in 2002, 212th in 07.
38-year-old investment banker raises to 4,600, and Daniel will make the call.
Well, that was a serious re-raise. Daniel going to come along with the connectors.
Utenich calls as well. So McDonald built a nice pot with 2 others, and they will see a flop. Ace, deuce, queen, 2 clubs. McDonald's pocket tens are best. Utenich with straight and flush draws. Negreanu whiffed. McDonald checked. Daniel bet 6,500 with his 1% hand.
Daniel definitely in a mixing it up mode.
Utenich with a nut flush draw and Broadway draw makes the call. To McDonald now. And he'll lay down the tens.
That's the best hand, but I would have laid it down too.
Negreanu and Utenich heads up. Daniel has a better chance now with McDonald out. 8 of spades on the turn. Utenich has a better no pair than Daniel. Daniel, though, reaching again. This time, 13,500.
Huge bluff from Daniel. He's now in knee deep, and he's not that tall. Remember, we heard Daniel talk earlier about trying to do the opposite of your image? I don't think Utenich can lay down this draw. In fact, if he had a great read on Daniel, he'd raise right now with his huge draw.
But Utenich makes the call with those draws. Daniel doesn't like to see that. And the river card tray of clubs. Utenich hits his flush. Daniel now checks.
Well, if the river was a blank, we'll never know if Daniel could have won the pot by firing again. Probably. It ended up being costly.
Come on.
He tries to put Daniel all in.
Okay, I'll make one of my fancy guesses and say that you have the 10 of clubs in your hand, as well as the Jack of clubs in your hand.
Not a bad guess.
Which I can't beat. So, on that note, I have to fold.
And Tony Utenich will take that nice pot.
Can't wait to see if you had 10 Jack of clubs.